Oh my goodness.
All right,
we're
we're
live.
on. Sweet.
Welcome to the replay because we're just the two of us and Elijah here at this moment.
No one's on here yet, but
Oh.
we need some small talk to wait for people to show up to the thing, right?
Well, here we are in our house, and I'll tell you where everybody's at. Esther and Andrew.
Hi, Tink Star Rice. All right.
Esther and Andrew went to Carowinds, the amusement park, with friends. Daniel is working. Elijah is on the sofa. He is going to tell us what your questions are if we miss them. Hi, Ignacio. And Pearl and even Jude are watching a movie, and Asher and Peter are about to leave for a birthday party. So we're in our living room, and
right
so it might
here.
be a little echoey because it's high ceilings.
And hardwood floors, but hopefully
true.
we can get through it without too many interruptions from children. But
maybe you guys want interruptions, but
maybe. So we'll see what happens.
okay.
So.
Hi, Mario. Hi, Avery.
All
Hi,
right.
Rexy. So, hi, Logan. Hi, Emily. Hi, World.
Oh, here they come.
Hi,
They're all
everybody.
coming.
Oh, goodness, I want to keep doing it, but I can't. But I do want some questions. This is our question and answer. We get a lot of questions, and we've thought of recording a question and answer, but we thought it might be fun to actually hang out with you guys here on the channel and answer your questions.
Okay.
Where are we at in the world right now?
So we're in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So should we answer how we got here, or do
We used
most
to
people
live
understand
here,
that?
and we ended up back here again. Our future travel plans are to travel here in the States in our RV, and to just continue traveling internationally.
But it won't be full-time travel. We plan on maintaining a home base and traveling, intermittently.
But if you
So-
guys have watched our channel at all for very long, you also know that we don't plan on not changing plans. We will always change plans.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you stick with us a while, you'll see that our plans do change on a fairly regular basis.
Okay, Elijah
Okay.
is behind the camera, and so, gosh, there's so many
There's
questions.
a lot of questions, Elijah. Are you seeing these?
Hi, Haggy.
Hey, Haggy.
No, we will not be adopting any more kids. We feel like that phase of our life is done. We feel like we are done having children, and that now it's time to stay our family
Hi,
of
George.
11 and wait for the grandkids to come.
Yeah. So the next time we add children to our family, it'll be grandchildren, right?
Yeah. Somebody asked how we knew that we were ready to have kids. When my pregnancy test read positive. That's when we knew we were ready to have kids, because we were going to have kids.
We weren't really planning on it that early, but it did happen.
No, about 9 months after we got married, it was Christmas Day. I realized that I was late for my period. We went and found a store that was open and bought a pregnancy test. We were not actively trying to get pregnant at that time, but we were doing things not to get pregnant, but we got pregnant anyways, and that was Elijah. I was a junior in college. Mike was a freshman?
Freshman, sophomore, somewhere around there.
So we actually literally would take Elijah as a baby to classes, hand him off on campus. We had him with us in school.
Yeah, that was kind of wild.
Yeah,
So-
I know, Hacky. We get lots of good laughs out of your comments. Thank you. My lipstick, I think, is Urban Decay. A couple different shades from Urban Decay.
Okay, so Elijah, are you
No,
seeing these
we do
questions?
not have the guinea pigs. Okay, so here,
seeing
I'm
the
going to go
comments?
over the guinea pig question. Even though we answered it, I'll answer it again here. So we had the guinea pigs, and those poor guinea pigs were the subject of much love. We have all our
Too much
kids and
love.
all the neighborhood kids, and they were just loved on so much, and they hated it. I think they like to be pet, but not with that many kids. But when we decided we were going to move and that we were just going to be renting while we were here, at least at first, the house that we're in did not accept pets. And so we listed them on a local site there in Utah. A lot of people were interested because we put them up for free, and we said no to everybody. Because I would ask them questions like, well, have you ever had a guinea pig before? What's your family look like? What are your plans? And most people were not ready for guinea pigs. But we did find a gal that was in her, I think, late 20s. She had some roommates. She wanted a pet to love on, and checked in with us later. They were super happy with her in her quiet apartment and her quiet love.
Yeah.
So that's what happened to the guinea pigs. Oh,
Okay.
I would love to get a dog or a cat. Mike, not so much.
I'm not a pet guy, so.
But obviously,
I had cats growing up. My family usually had a cat, and so I do like cats, but.
I think we'll get a cat.
But right now we are renting this home, and they don't allow pets here, so it won't be for a little while if we do. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Elijah's got a question for us.
When are we going on our next RV trip? Like,
When and where?
excursion. Yeah.
We are going.
We're going over Memorial Day weekend, and
Which
it's going to
is-
be, which is 2 weeks away?
1 week away.
Oh,
isn't
shoot.
it?
Yeah, it's 1 week.
Less than a week.
And we're going to a campground that actually we're going with some friends, and they arrange all of it. I don't even know where it is. Actually.
Yeah, we don't even know. But we're going for the weekend
It's
with
a
a
couple
few
hours
other
away.
families. They'll be staying in tents, and we'll be staying in the RV.
Wait, what?
We don't
Yeah,
do
they're
tents.
camping.
Who?
I'm not going to go over that now. You don't get to be on the question
Elijah's
and answer.
asking us who we're going with.
I didn't even know about that. So.
I did notice one question was, how did you know that you wanted to adopt? I saw that kind of fly by. I think that's a good question. So, adoption.
Well, we had 4 boys. Well, actually, before I get there, I'm going to ask myself a question, or I'm going to ask a question you guys don't even know how to ask. This necklace I just got from my friend Mary. She has the business Made by Mary, and she said, hey, can we send you a necklace with 9 dots on it for your 9 kids? And I said, I would love a necklace, but I actually have 10 kids. And could you put 10 dots on it? So after I had Andrew, we got pregnant, and it was a really happy pregnancy, and feeling the baby move, feeling a lot of love for the baby. And then when we went in for our ultrasound at like about 20 weeks, we found out that the baby had passed away the day before.
There was
It
no heartbeat.
Devastating.
Yeah.
It was a little girl. I went in that night, where Mike and I went in that night, and I delivered her. We named her Louise. And so after Louise, we had Peter and then Asher. And I had all C-sections, except for having that stillbirth. And the doctors had told us that they would be high risk from then on. We were ready to be done. So I actually had my tubes tied. I'm getting really personal here. After Asher, we felt we were done, but when Asher was about 2, the feeling started coming back that we didn't have any living daughters, and we were sad about that, and that kind of grew and grew until we really felt like we had a daughter at least. So we pursued that through adoption, found Pearl, then we found Esther. They brought them home and felt like, oh, we're good.
This was in 2013? 2013.
Early 2013. And then there's actually some crazy stories about this, about knowing that there were still more children in our family, but I'll tell one of them.
Just give one of them. Give them an example of what we're talking about here.
I kind of had felt before that we still had a little boy that was supposed to come to our family, but I was like, oh my gosh, I have 6 kids. I'm really overwhelmed already. But I had this dream one night that there was a little baby boy, and he was crying, and he needed me, and I wasn't coming to get him. And I had it 3 times that night. It was devastating, and I knew that it was probably time for me to start the adoption process again. Just devastating still to me. So it was just a matter of months later that we started the adoption process, found Jude, and then knew when we made the decision to adopt Jude that actually he wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
And so we brought home Eve and Daniel on that same adoption trip.
So there you have it.
Question that was brought up quite a while ago, but they asked, is there any difference between parenting styles for your biological kids and then your adopted kids, and like how do you parent differently?
So the question is, do we parent differently between our biological and our adopted children? I would say there's different parenting styles from child to child.
Well, no, I think our parenting
our
styles
overall
the same.
parenting style is the same. That doesn't matter. Obviously, each child brings their own unique personality
And
to the equation,
challenges
whether they're biological or adopted. So there are some tweaks there, but overall, our parenting is
I don't
pretty-
feel any differently. I do not feel any differently. And I didn't know if I would, but I can say with 100% certainty that I feel no difference between my biological and my non-biological children, except that I know that there are a mother and a father for each of my children from China out there that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that they made the decision to keep their daughter or their son, and that all the way through birth, and that I'm, that's always there.
Right.
But no, absolutely not. No difference. Everybody's got their own challenges. And it's not like it's just the kids that we adopted, just from China, that they are the only ones with challenges. Every child comes with things that they've got to work through and work on, and that they need extra love and support with. So
yeah, the same.
No difference.
Okay, Elijah, what's another question?
Which one do you- A lot of people, you never mentioned when you're talking about where you guys met, you never mentioned which college.
Oh, okay. So Megan and I met at BYU, or Brigham Young University, back in 1997. We were both fresh off our parents' car, basically, right into freshman year. And we met the very first day of school, the summer of 1997. That was June, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. June 19th or
So,
something, June 18th.
Yep. We met, took us a couple weeks until we were actually like a thing. We were together. Was it?
Yeah,
It might have been faster. It was pretty fast. So we did that summer term, and then I actually went back home after the summer term and went on a mission for our church, which is the same thing Elijah's going to do. And then we wrote letters for 2 years.
Yeah, crazy,
actual
right?
letters on paper.
Mike was so good. He wrote me a letter every week for 2 years, except he missed 1 week, and that was it. So I got 101 letters.
There you go. So after I got back, it was only 4 months later after I got back that we got married. So
that was really fast.
That was in the year 2000, April 2000. So
well,
there you have it.
okay, I saw a question really quick, Amanda. We are our children's real parents. But no, none of our kids know who their biological parents are. There's some of them have some memories of them, but no, nobody knows actually who their biological parents are, but we are their real parents.
Right. And really, if any adoption out of China, you can always count on those children not being aware of their parents.
Except for very rare circumstances where maybe their parents died when they were older children.
But they're
that's
typically
very rare.
Left somewhere. So yeah.
Somebody asks us all the time. It was there in my brain a second, and I forgot it. And I was going to answer it, but oh well, maybe it'll come back.
I got another question.
Yes.
Okay.
We've gotten a couple questions about like mission, my mission specifically,
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Okay.
I think
Well-
someone asked if Elijah, did they ask if you were going, or if you wanted to go, or if you?
Just kind of the general.
Okay.
So Elijah's almost done with filling out his paperwork that he will submit to our church, which is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Then what we're all only waiting on, he's got his wisdom teeth out. He needs to have that done before he goes. So we're waiting on also just a general physical that will get done. Then he'll submit that, and then 2 to 3 weeks.
It's like an application you submit.
2 to 3 weeks later, he will find out where he is going and when he's supposed to report to the missionary training center and which one he's reporting to. There's several around the world. So we don't know.
So we don't really know the timing yet or where he's going to go, but we will find out. And don't worry, you guys will be in on that when it happens.
And yes, he's hoping to go anywhere internationally, right? But specifically, he'd love to go to Asia.
And I did notice someone did ask if Daniel's going to go on a mission.
Okay, that was the question.
Okay.
People ask us all the time, how do we introduce our faith to our children, specifically our adopted children? Our faith is a huge part of our life, and I think when we brought the kids home, we knew, especially if they were older, that that was not necessarily something that they would adopt and make part of their life, but that either way they were our kids and that we loved them. And so everybody is on a different path that way, whether they're our biological children or not. And something that's a really important part of our faith is that you have a personal conversion, that it's something that you have actually interacted with God yourself, and that you want to be a part of the faith. That conversion might be when you're 12, it might be when you're 18. But Daniel right now is just trying to figure out what he wants to be and what he wants to do. And so no, he is not planning on serving a mission at this time. And really, our job is just to love Daniel, to be his parents. We find so much joy in our faith and in our relationship with Jesus Christ, but that's his
choice.
thing.
Yeah.
That's not our job. That's his thing that he's going to have to figure out.
Yeah.
I got another question. Why did you guys decide to adopt from China specifically?
So in case you didn't hear it, the question was, why did we decide to adopt from China? And I kind of remember this a little bit. We had the idea of adopting in general And we met some people who had adopted from China, and they talked to us a little bit about it. But what we did is we actually just looked at lots of different options. We prayed about it. We looked at domestic. We did look at lots of different countries. Basically, we looked at children, because what you do is you look at the children that are available.
And when we prayed, it was a Sunday, we prayed, and I think we even fasted, which means we took a break from eating that day. And we looked at all of the different websites and options and just kind of followed our heart, and felt overwhelmingly like our child, because we didn't know it was gonna be more than one, was in China. And so we said, okay, we could just feel it. It was like there was momentum, there was peace there, when everywhere else felt like it wasn't a good fit for whatever reason. And so we went with that, and then we did the same the second time around. We kind of felt it out again and felt like, no, it's China again. So
that's how God told us.
Yeah, that's
basically
how we decided. We followed our heart.
Okay, Liza, what else?
Let's see.
It's so fun to have you guys here and to see you all around the world. It's such a weird feeling that we're all here together. I love it.
One thing I've seen a lot of questions about, are you coming to my home state or to my country? Good question. We don't have
I would totally come to Turkey. I've seen that several times come up. I would love to come to Turkey.
You'll have to show us around or something. So we don't have a lot of plans right now, especially international travel. So we're not sure yet, but that's actually maybe a good thing to put in our newsletter, upcoming plans, and then people can.
Yeah. So go sign up for our monthly newsletter, and we'll let you know where we're headed in the future, and maybe if we can meet up.
If we're coming to your place, you can show us around.
Yeah, we love that I don't know if you guys have noticed in our videos when locals that watch the channel show us around. We love that.
Yep, pretty sweet.
And we just love getting to know you better. That's another thing I want to mention. People often comment, oh, I saw you the other day, but I didn't want to bother you. Like, we love it when you come and say hello to us. That does not bother us. So please, if you see us out in public, say hello, because we want to get to know you. We do feel like you're our friends, so yeah.
Ooh, someone asked about the chore chart. I want to answer that one. Okay, so someone asked how we came up with the chore chart. That was actually, I saw it at my brother's house about 5 or 6 years ago. We were visiting. He had a little chore chart up that he made, and it totally inspired me to come up with our own. So I went home, got an Excel spreadsheet opened up, and put it all together. So, and it's
like his jam.
It's how we keep things organized around here.
Okay, another question we get asked all the time, which is there's a lot to it, but I'm gonna answer it. Mike's like, what? We get asked all the time, what would we do if one of our children told us that they were gay? We would keep doing what we always do. We would love them and support them. And I think that's, once again, like we said about Daniel, like, we have a relationship with God. We hope that our children have that relationship with God. As for what their journey is, that is between them and God. Our job is to be their parents and to love them and to teach them, how to find joy in this life. I still do absolutely believe there's something really special, both Mike and I do, between the relationship between a man and a woman. Only in that relationship can you create life together. There's something really special there. Absolutely, I believe that. But the rest, I think we're all kind of wondering and waiting, and I think that will be kind of their own personal journey, but it won't change anything with
between us
our
and them.
Relationship with them at all.
Right. We've had a few questions about how we afford our lifestyle. Should we answer that?
Yeah.
If you're not aware of it, our main source of income is our business with doTERRA, which is an essential oil company. So we started that about 8 years ago now.
Yeah.
Is that right? So we're distributors for that essential oil company. We teach people how to use essential oils, and then basically they buy them through us. Yeah. And that's where our income comes from.
And we're passionate about oils. We love oils. Elijah just got his wisdom teeth out, and we're absolutely supporting him through that with essential oils, which are just plants. Plants are amazingly beneficial and medicinal, and so we love that.
And so if you want to learn more about that, we have a link to the Facebook group, and every one of our videos down in the description. You can join that Facebook group for essential oils. We just did a live there this last week going over the basics of essential oils. So if you want to go learn about it, check out the Facebook group.
Here's another question. People have been asking what the current school arrangements are.
Okay.
So what are our school arrangements?
This is kind of a long question. I make everything long, right? I love to talk, but
it's never a short answer.
You kind of have to understand our life philosophy. So when we decided to have kids, and we kind of talked about how we wanted to parent and what our philosophy on all of that was that we wanted our kids to be able to think for themselves, be able to feel empowered and to be able to kind of create the life that they wanted to live. We felt that the public school system was not especially conducive to that. I'm not saying you can't do all of those things, but I don't think it's because of it. I think it's in spite of it. It's a little political maybe, but so we decided that we wanted to hand them the ability and teach them how to discover who they are and go after their dreams and to work. So we've done a lot of different things with homeschooling, and we will continue to do a lot of different things, but it's definitely child-led. So that means that the younger ages, it looks like not much is going on, right? Eve and Jude love workbooks, so they do a lot of workbooks.
And she's made a lot of progress
Yes,
with
she
her letters
has.
and numbers. And
We've been
all that
surprised
stuff.
at just now that we've been homeschooling her for 2 months, that we feel like whatever they were doing at the school, I don't know, because she's made a lot of progress just doing these workbooks. But as a child, it looks like a lot of play. It looks like just a lot of exploration. But the older they get, the more you'll start to see them specialize and start to see what they're good at and what they feel joy in doing and what they're passionate about. And it starts to get cooler and cooler as they get older.
Right.
But that would fall into the umbrella of unschooling. So yeah, that's what we do. So sometimes they might use a curriculum for a while if it kind of helps them learn more about something they're interested in, or they might just be, researching it through Google and YouTube and things along those lines.
Okay.
I'm gonna answer a question we get all the time.
Okay.
And that was
Go for it.
about Eve and Jude sharing a room.
Okay. People are concerned.
Dude, kids are kids. We are very aware of our children and where they're at developmentally, and we talk about it all the time. And as soon as we start to see that maybe it's not an appropriate thing for them to share, we will. But brothers and sisters have been sharing rooms for millennia, and for 99% of the time, that's a good, healthy thing. So
Right.
we're not worried about that. They're just little kids. They
I know.
love it. They have such a special bond. They love it. So.
Okay, Liza, you got a good one for us?
Let me see real quick. Will you guys, do you plan on adopting? Yeah.
Oh, we already talked about
We
that.
said,
You guys talking about?
yeah, we're done
Where were
adopting.
you?
Oh,
You're
Is
not
that
paying
medication?
attention.
You're
He's
like
not doing
lost-
his job back there, Liza.
My health is great. Thank you.
Yeah, we're not adopting again. So, what was another one? Oh, someone asked what I majored in college. I can answer that.
Yeah.
I majored in marriage, family, and human development. My goal at that point was to be a family therapist, but
He kind of is a family therapist.
well,
to all of
in some
us.
ways. So it was a very useful degree as far as family life goes, but I didn't end up using that directly, out of college. So that's what I graduated in.
Somebody just asked, and it's like one of my favorite things to talk about, where do we see ourselves in 10 years? We talk about this all the time. I love talking about the future and making plans for the future, if you haven't noticed. I think in 10 years, I will be 49, because I am
Still in your 30s.
40 in just a few weeks.
It's coming up.
And our youngest, Jude, will be 16. And it's Eve will probably still be home. Eve and Jude will be the only ones at home. I imagine we'll be jet setting around the world.
We think we might travel more then.
Absolutely. We will be if it's just the four of us, we'll be Machu Picchu and Antarctica. We'll be doing all sorts of crazy fun stuff.
Okay. What's another one, Elijah?
are you guys ever planning on making a podcast?
What a
so
great
wait.
question.
Tell them what it was. I don't know if they heard it.
Well, somebody asked if we're ever planning on doing a podcast. Andrew and I are starting a podcast. We'll be recording our first episode next week. It's going to be called Rocking the Cradle. And it's just going to be Andrew and I talking about things that we're fascinated by and things that we're thinking about. I love to talk, so does Andrew. We have a lot to say, and the channel is there's not really a time for us to do that here on the channel.
We can't really pontificate on too much.
Yes, so we are really excited, and I will let you guys know when it actually goes live, and it'll be actually a tab on our website about it too.
And if anyone's wondering, I'm not going to be involved in the podcast, and that's really by choice. I don't like to talk that much. I can't really talk very long, as you can see right now. So don't feel bad that I'm not in it. I don't want to be in it. So I'm perfectly comfortable being out here, keeping the kids at bay while Megan and Andrew are having a good conversation.
Yeah, but it is kind of funny. Andrew will grow up and probably want to leave the nest in just a few years. So we'll just
it's
have
going
to
to be
see
a
what
limited
happens
time
then.
podcast. Okay, what other questions do we have?
What's Daniel's plan
Oh gosh, that's a great question. No, Daniel is, there's this new thing. I don't know if you guys know, but in like every state now, you can't just like take driver's ed, do your time, and then get a driver's license. There's this waiting period. And in Utah, it was only 6 months. In North Carolina, it's a year.
Right.
So when we moved here, but there's a caveat, if you are 18 years old, you can get it right away. And so there was no reason for him to start the process because he's 18 in November. So he's planning on taking driver's ed late this summer, early fall, and getting his driver's license
When he's 18.
when he's 18.
Here's another one. Will Eve be living with you guys when she is like an adult?
So the question is, will Eve live with us when she's an adult? We don't know. We're not sure how far along she'll be. I'm sure she would love it eventually to kind of be on her own. Whatever she does, it will be an assisted living type scenario, we assume.
Well, like, yeah, there's like group homes where they get a lot of independence, but we've seen some parents of kids with Down syndrome almost have an apartment attached to their house. I don't know. I really, really don't know. I think we're gonna get there, but when we get there. But we did know when we adopted Eve that was a possibility, and we were totally okay with that.
Yeah. Okay, what else, Liza?
Would I be okay if any of my kids left our faith? I think
We kind of already
obviously,
addressed that
yeah,
with
but I mean,
Daniel,
obviously,
'cause-
our faith brings us a ton of joy, and we believe that it is like the bedrock of the happiness that we have in our life. So I would I would be sad for them that they wouldn't be able to have that connection with, you know, their creator. But once again, that's not our job, is to force them to have that. In fact, you can't force someone to have that. And so our job is to love them and support them and encourage them to be happy. And so, yes, I think I would be sad that they didn't have that, but I think it wouldn't dominate my feelings or my connection or relationship with them or ours. I say I a lot.
It's okay.
Sorry.
She means both
I'm
of us.
an I person.
And I think that also, even though they obviously have that choice, we are very intentional about teaching the principles of the gospel and having, you've seen us have lessons in the home, and we pray together, you know, we go to church every week. So they are a part of that. So it's not like we're not completely hands off as far as teaching our children, because we want them to understand that and have that knowledge. And obviously, if they choose not to someday, then that's what they do.
But I mean, it's no different than teaching them like to eat healthy, and we're trying to teach them the principles of how to be happy, right? And so we say, hey, get out there and exercise, eat healthy, you know, like you're not getting enough sleep, but also like that relationship is an important part of happiness. But when they become adults, we will totally respect that. We'll hand them the keys to their life, and they get to decide about living.
Okay, Liza?
How do you feel about being grandparents?
Oh gosh, I want to
The question was, how do you feel about being grandparents?
bad.
Mom, Megan wants it super bad.
I do.
She wants some babies to hold.
I have totally become a weirdo when I'm like at the store. I like have to use all of my willpower to not touch strangers' babies. Or to ask to pick them up. I'll be like, Mike's like, don't. I'm like, oh, your baby. So I know that's inappropriate to touch or ask strangers if I can hold their baby. So I just need to have some grandkids. So.
Okay, here's a question I'm gonna answer real quick because I saw it come through a couple times. Someone asked if we're gonna force our kids to go to college. We are the exact opposite. In our unschooling, we're encouraging them not to go into college.
No, we're not.
No, but we are completely open because college is not for everyone. And it could definitely be a waste of time and money if you're not going for the right reasons or with something in mind to do. So
both Mike and I went to college. All of our siblings went to college.
My parents
Our
went to college.
parents went to college, but we just feel like looking forward strategically and in today's world that you go to college if it makes sense for what you'd want to do, and if you need the resources that you find there. Sometimes that means you get a degree, sometimes it doesn't, but no, it is not like it was for us where that is the path. It's a little bit more complex when it's not the path.
I know, the path isn't as clear, but we are not requiring that of the kids.
Here's a question. When Eve talks, do we understand what she's saying?
Not always.
The question is, do we understand Eve when she talks? We don't always. I think most of the time we do. But also her speech is improving. She's always picking up new words and putting them together. So she's definitely making progress.
Questions about my hair? Thank you. Not everybody loves it. It's kind of like shaved on the sides. Then I have a lot of natural wave and curl, and then I just go back and clean it up with a curling iron for like the really crazy ones.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, Laisha, what else?
No, we don't regret buying the RV at all. We just regret that we can't keep it in our driveway, I think. So
That's the sad part.
yeah, that's the sad
Have to
part.
drive 25 minutes to get it.
Someday we'll be able to do that. We're actually thinking, we really loved overhauling the RV. I'm just stepping right
You're
into
gonna
this.
say this right now?
And we have thought that it would be fun to help others renovate their RVs. So we're thinking of getting a space and opening that up to people to see if maybe you guys want us to reno your RV. So if you have an RV,
So this
you
is
could
a side,
get it to us.
This is a side
and
business
you have
that we're
a
starting.
little budget to do that, or a big budget. Send us a message. Maybe we'll
Yeah, we can get together.
yeah.
Gosh, I had a question. Oh, right. Do your Chinese children speak Chinese to each other in the home?
No.
Do the Chinese children speak Chinese to each other in the home? They do not.
No. Only Daniel is still fluent in Chinese. I see the value of them keeping their mother language. But when they came home, I didn't want to put the pressure on them to do that. I just needed them to feel safe. I needed them to feel like they were part of our family. And I knew that if that was something that they wanted to do down the line and that was important to them, they could pick it back up again. Daniel coming home at 14, obviously, that would be like, it was so easy for him to keep that. But yeah. Yes, somebody asked if we've questioned our religion. Of course. I don't think you have a deep faith if you haven't asked the hard questions and really gone down and like looked at them and look at it from different angles and gone on that journey. And I think you never stop doing that because your faith just continues to deepen. And absolutely, there's a lot of complexity to life, and so you have to think about those things.
Right.
We did answer the gay question, so you'll have to
You have to go back to the
and watch
beginning. Elijah, give us another question.
Are you going to have any more biological children?
that. No,
Will we have more biological children? We cannot. It's physically impossible.
Yep.
Yes, you can date outside of your religion when you are a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Do we miss full-time traveling?
Do we miss full-time
Parts of
travel?
it.
I think we do. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are parts that we miss. I always go back and look at previous pictures and I'm like, oh, but I'm also very grateful we did it. So, but I'm happy to have a home base.
Yeah, I think this phase is not a full-time travel phase. We have, like Mike said, no regrets. It was awesome, but it's like, can we straddle both now?
Yeah.
Aggie,
Well,
you gotta go take a cold shower.
Part of the problem the reason that we don't full-time travel too is with our family and our children, there are things that need to happen that are hard to do on the road. Some people can do it, but we need it to be
There's
home-based.
11 of us, so
yeah, there's a lot of people to take care of with different things. So, okay, what's another one, Elijah?
What's our favorite place we've ever visited?
Favorite place we've ever visited? That's a tough one. Can we actually say one place? Because when someone asks that, we always end up saying like 5 places. Like, well, we love this place, we love that
we
place.
really loved it's like saying which kid is your favorite. Every place brought joy to us in a different way and added to our life. And I think no, we don't have a favorite place.
We loved it all. So how's that for an answer? Okay.
Let me think.
Elijah's looking for a question to answer.
Can you kiss?
What was the question?
So people are asking about what we're thinking about. I'm going to answer it because I don't mind
Go for
answering
it.
things, hard questions. But people asked about what we think here in the United States. I don't know if you've noticed, there's a lot of debate going on about abortion. I think that our life speaks for itself and our feelings of the worth of children. And I think you probably know where we stand on that. And
Even
the joy,
children who may be considered unwanted from their
the
parents.
joy that comes to us from our children and from helping them see their potential. And we just believe in people. We believe in humans, and we believe that there is so much more to each individual life, and each life is so valuable. So I think you can probably figure out where we stand on that.
Do you guys read all the comments on your videos?
Yes.
We scroll through.
Yes.
We're not great at responding to all of them though. So, which
Robin-
is why we're doing this right now.
Robin asked how I lost so much weight, and I've seen some comments come about my weight. I got to the point where I just realized that I had to recognize that whatever I was doing was not working, because every year I weighed a little bit more and a little bit more. And so I gave up most sugar. I very rarely have sugar. I rarely have a lot of grains and I actually feel a lot better when I don't have grains. And I'm mostly eating lean protein and vegetables and a little bit of fruit. And I do have dairy because I actually feel really good with dairy. But I also just don't eat a lot. And I feel really good, like better than I have in my entire life. What I'm doing is not hard for me at all. I have a lot of energy. I don't have a lot of cravings. So I eat 6 times a day and probably, somewhere between about 1,800 calories a day.
I just saw a question, does Mike ever get mad? If we brought any of my kids on here, they would tell you that yes, Mike does get mad. So I don't get mad on camera, and I think any parent,
just like you don't pick your nose on camera.
Is there any parent alive who doesn't get mad with their children at times? Obviously, no.
Well, I think that's, of course you do, because that is how you show your children what is appropriate and what isn't appropriate.
Our parenting style is that we have certain expectations of the kids, and we hold them to that. So
specifically, if I see someone showing cruelty to somebody else in the family, you better believe I'm going to be mad.
Yeah, we're going to.
And I'm going to be mad quickly, and it's going to be with passion, because I want them to understand how completely inappropriate and unacceptable it is to be cruel to another person, right? So yes, we get mad, and I think that's an important part of teaching children how to be a good human.
And then sometimes it's just been a long day, your patience is thin, and you get mad, and maybe it wasn't appropriate to get mad at that time, but it's okay. We all do it. So,
but I think then we do apologize to our kids. Sometimes mom makes that go.
Yeah, she pushes me to it. But
here's a question that's been asked a few times. What company do you use for the snacks that you have for your dad?
I don't use any company anymore, but I did use Optavia when I was doing my weight loss, so that was really helpful. Somebody asked if we still use essential oils. Every stinking day. We love essential oils. We're passionate about what they've done for our health and for the health of the people we've shared them with. We think that essential oils are a major life-changing, game-shifting, health alternative that everybody should have in their home.
So yes.
And we believe that you will not find better oils than the ones with doTERRA. If we thought you could find better ones somewhere else, we'd go work for that company.
Right.
And I also think you're not going to find oils that are sourced more responsibly and sustainably, supporting as many people as possible in developing countries where they come from than doTERRA. Nobody's doing that but doTERRA.
And if you want to learn more about that, go to the link in the description for our Facebook group.
Harry Potter.
Someone asked, what made us start our YouTube channel? And I think that's a interesting topic.
Yeah.
You probably can answer that better than I can. But.
Yeah, honestly, you guys, we didn't know much about YouTube in 2015, but we were driving down the road. This is how we drive.
Just
we're
like
driving
this.
down the road.
No.
At the end of 2015, we had just come home with our 3 kids from China, and everyone all the time was like, "Oh, I wish I could be a fly on the wall in your house," and asking us questions all the time. And I remember exactly where we were on the road, and I turned to Mike and I said, "I think we should have a YouTube channel." And
this is how things usually go for us. Megan is good at the idea. And then she says, "I think we should do this thing." And
it was a lightning bolt for both of us, though.
And we both felt it.
It was I think we should. And we didn't know anything about what that meant or how to do it. We really hadn't.
We still don't really know.
I used YouTube for and I still do, watching cat videos or fail videos. And
don't admit to that.
I really didn't know much about how to do it, but we just jumped in and made our first video on January 1st, 2016.
All right. It was a hike we did on the 1st of January.
On New Year's Day. So
yeah. So that's how we started. We just felt like we were supposed to.
Here's a question. What are our top countries that we want to visit currently?
Oh gosh. What are our top countries that we currently want to visit? I always want to go to Mexico. I love Mexico. Always want to go to Mexico.
That's true. We talk about that a lot.
I'd like to go anywhere. Really, really. I think that it's so, there's something so incredible about going to a foreign nation and being pushed and the things that are required of you. My best friend Marissa's in the Dominican Republic right now, and she was sending me some videos this morning. And I'm like, oh, I'll miss that when you're in a market and it's totally different culture and a totally different language. And I think anywhere. Somebody that works for the airlines, just hook us up.
Yeah.
We'll go anywhere if you can buy
collab with
11
airline.
tickets, adds up really quick.
Got any more, Liza?
Do you have any favorite oils?
Favorite oils?
A million. They're always changing. Wild orange is a huge one at our house. I love magnolia. I love Douglas fir. I mean, we use oils every day, so like it's like
I
don't
love
know. It's
peppermint.
like yeah, peppermint.
Peppermint, lavender, yeah.
On guard. We love lots of oils.
Here's a question we got asked a few times.
Do we have a favorite child? Yes, it's Elijah.
Yep. That's
No,
it.
we do not have a favorite child.
What's the plan with Pearl's jewelry business?
Well, this is the thing. I wish I could just like immediately do all that. There's a lot that goes into having a jewelry business. We need to make sure that the jewelry is high enough quality that when people get it, it's worth what they paid for it, and it lasts at least a certain amount of time, right? And that we can take pictures of it and market it. And I have 9 kids. Did you guys know that? And I have a YouTube channel, and I have a doTERRA business. And so it is slow going, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And hopefully, I really want it to be something that Pearl owns, so that Pearl's learning about marketing, and Pearl's learning about product photography, and she's learning about how to ship products and work with customers. So I'm just keep trying to hand that back to her so that she can go through those hard things, and it can be an educational process for her too.
We've had a few people ask about if we'll ever do like we'll meet up with This Together Nest, if you know Angela.
Oh yeah.
Megan and Angela,
she's super busy, I'm super busy, but we keep
we are aware
saying
of each
we're
other.
going out to lunch or we're going to get together for dinner, and we just cannot get a date on the calendar.
Okay, what else we got on here?
Do you have any daily rituals that help you stay motivated?
Yes.
So daily rituals that help us stay motivated and focus on our goals.
Well, gosh, there's a lot of things, and it's kind of always evolving, but
What are some things we like to do?
well, we have prayer and we have like self-care, but I think this.
You and I discussing things?
Yeah, we're
constantly discussing what's happening next, what we're doing next, what we have on the future. If we need to clarify what our goals are for the future. Megan loves to put things up so that we have a dream board up in our room, which you probably see in the background, which shows the things that we're hoping for the future. We have things up on a whiteboard, so we're always seeing those things.
We try to read positive things or listen to positive things. We go for drives to like get back in the right mode. We go for walks. We
So we are very intentional about moving forward and achieving our goals, or at least moving toward our dream. And this is something that I just realized, actually just hit me again the other day, that people who are successful or who are doing things, it didn't typically just fall in their lap. They were intentional about what they did. And so that's what we try to do. And we encourage you to do the same thing. Anyone who's trying to do more with their life, stay focused on that, keep moving forward toward it.
Karen asked if we would ever consider doing a reality TV show.
Well,
Yeah, if it was the right fit, we would absolutely love to do that. It has to be the right fit. It has to be the right time. But yeah, I think we actually do hope that someday that will happen. I just got real vulnerable and told you that. But we love interacting. Today on my phone, I deleted all the news apps that I had because it's so toxic, and sometimes you feel like the world is just like a mess.
Crazy, yeah.
Right? Like it's a mess out there. I don't know what's going to happen moving forward. But I do think that one of the things we like about having our channel, one of the major things we like about having our channel, is that we can say it's not all a mess. Mm-hmm. Like life is still happy. There's still a lot of joy. And so if we could do that on our channel, or we'll continue to do that on our channel, but if we could do that on a reality TV show, 1, it has to be the right kind, but 2, we would love to. So, call me.
Yeah, if anyone's watching. So another question was, someone asked, I think, what we're reading as far as keeping us motivated and positive. You just picked up The Alchemist, that book by, do you remember the name of the author? Because there's 2 books called The Alchemist.
Paulo Coelho, or I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's
Paulo Coelho.
Right, The Alchemist is a great book, and then I'm actually reading Capital Gains, which is the book written by Chip Gaines, and I was surprised how much good advice he has in there. So check that out.
Mel said,
Paulo Mel got it on there.
Or however you say his name, I don't know, Suelo. Or our favorite band, The Beatles.
Someone asked our favorite band?
Yeah. What?
Wait.
Have you ever had any issues like filming in public or anything like that?
Yes.
Oh, so the question is, have we had issues filming in public? I don't think we've ever had anyone angry at us.
Well,
or
Walmart asked us to stop filming.
Well, Walmart did, and then once when I walked into Costco,
They
they
said
told me
they
to put the camera away.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just you're more conspicuous when you're filming. So I can get self-conscious, and
You
I
feel
don't
like a
that.
narcissist when you're like, hey, yo, what's up? Holding your camera.
I know.
And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm such a narcissist.
You have to get over that.
You do have to get over it. And it's like, you know what? I'm not a narcissist. I'm just
Just
sharing
sharing
my
what we're doing.
life. And I have a lot of people that I have relationships with through, the internet now and because of the channel. So I'm just not going to worry about it. We're totally open to our kids wanting to find their biological families. That is, everybody is in a different place among our kids and wanting to do that and what their plans are with that. And so we'll see.
But that is almost literally a needle in a haystack. That's a very difficult thing to accomplish.
Somebody asked my favorite quote. I don't know that I have it memorized, but there's a quote by Marjorie Hinckley that says when she gets to the pearly gates, I'm paraphrasing, she doesn't want to have like perfect hair and a perfect car. She wants to like roll up with like dirt on the wheels and like peanut butter on her face. And her hair's a mess because she wants the Lord to know that she was really here and she really lived. I love that quote because I really want it to be that way. I want to like wear this life out. I want to like live it. I want to like really do this thing. And I don't want to worry about living with fear or with regret or any of those things.
And I think another favorite quote of ours is from Teddy Roosevelt, where he talks about
That's such a
the
good quote.
person who's in the ring, who's getting beat up, yelled at, made fun of.
You don't have to worry about the people who are not in the ring.
Yeah,
right?
basically, if you're out there doing something and you're fighting for something or you're trying to do something, you are going to have people throwing stones at you, but your life is going to be so much more full from doing it.
Yeah.
A couple people have asked, do we watch any other YouTube families or just YouTube channels and what you guys
I think occasionally we do watch. Probably the channel I watch the most, I'll just leave it at that, is Less Junk, More Journey.
Less Junk, More Journey. It's good
They do a
stuff.
really good
They do
job.
great content. There's lots of good information about RVs, and they're really nice people. So.
But we watch, yes, I don't watch anything on YouTube consistently just because that's not really how we roll. We're kind of busy. But I'm always watching little videos on YouTube, and I'll stay with one YouTuber for a while and another YouTuber. But
Okay. Ooh, we're getting close to the end of our time. What else is coming up, Elijah?
Let's see. Are we planning on buying a house? Do we have any plans for that or anything like that right now? Or is it all...
I can't decide.
As far as the house goes, we don't have any specific plans to buy it this time. We just wanted to kind of take a rest from that. We're renting right now, and that's where we're going to leave it at this
Yeah,
time.
I mean, I think we really thought we were going to buy that house in Provo. We really thought that was what was going to happen. Looking back, we're so grateful that fell through. We put in it still seems to still be kind of confusing what happened there. When we moved there, we were going to rent, and then we found this house, and we told the realtor we're not really ready to buy. He said, well, why don't you move in now and rent it, and we'll close in 5 months. So we had an accepted offer. We just acted like it was our house. But then literally like 2 days before closing, the deal started to unravel, and we found out on closing day that it wasn't going to work out. We were devastated. And so we kind of figured we would circle back around and still buy it. But in the months after that, it wasn't selling. We figured we'd still be the buyers. We were just going to continue renting it. We started to realize that maybe we were actually really glad that we'd been given like an escape pod and that we didn't want to buy that house.
Right.
And that we didn't necessarily want to live in that area. We had a lot of friends and family, but we just started to feel really glad that it had fallen apart. And I think that's usually how life works out. So, people are still like, what happened there? We totally thought we had bought that house. We had like an accepted offer. We just figured closing was a little ways out, but we're grateful that it didn't work out.
Right.
But it does make us a little bit more nervous about wanting to buy any house, I think.
Here's another question. Would we ever consider building a tiny house?
Yeah, I love tiny houses.
What do we consider building a tiny house? Yeah.
I love tiny houses. I love RVs. I love tiny spaces. I love how like you have to utilize them and organize
Efficiency.
them, and it's my jam. Tiny space with 9 kids, all living at home. Currently, that would be like a 1,200 square foot house. But right now it just makes sense for us to not be in a tiny house. But hopefully someday we have a little tiny house somewhere besides
maybe.
our RV.
Yeah. Okay.
How do we encourage our kids to be self-directed learners? By example and by family culture, right? It's just how the Norps roll. So we encourage that way. We're always working on projects. Siblings are working on projects. And then the ones who are dragging their feet, we encourage by taking away their ability to do anything but work on projects.
So again, we have to be intentional with that. We don't just, it's not just happenstance.
Someone asked if we would do an update video for each kid, like.
Yeah, we need to do that. So you guys would really like that? Let us know. I guess we'll just sit down with each kid and
Talk about where they're at and what they're doing?
yeah,
Sure. We can do that.
sure. Yes, kids can go to college with unschooling. Colleges, many universities, if you go and actually look into it, the top universities especially recognize that homeschooled kids, even unschooled kids, perform better in college than a lot of their public schooled counterparts. Some colleges still require, they don't require a diploma, but they might still require like an ACT and SAT. But some don't even require that. They want more like letters of recommendation. They want to see that you've been maybe entrepreneurial and thinking outside the box.
Okay.
Are we considering giving our RV a name?
Oh, are we gonna
Yes,
are we
I
gonna
thought
name
of
the
one.
RV? You thought of a name?
Yes.
Have you told me yet, or
yes.
is this new?
I thought of Playmobil.
Playmobil.
What do you guys think?
That's pretty good.
It's trademark, so you can't use it.
It's our Playmobil.
We'll put the little trademark thing next to it.
No.
Or the little, thing.
That'll work.
Okay, Liza, what else?
How do I deal with negative comments?
That's a good question.
Oh, sometimes I deal with it better than other times.
Well, in the beginning, when we first started the channel, we both very clearly remember when we got some seriously negative comments, and it kind of rocked our world. It knocked us over. But we learned that, for one thing, the people who are leaving the negative comments is usually more about them than it is about you. They've got their own issues they're dealing with, and they are trying to take it out on you. And, we just have to learn to kind of step over it and keep moving forward.
I get most of the negative comments. Though.
And unfortunately, Megan, for whatever reason, is the brunt of most of the negative comments, and that's sad. I don't know why that is, but we just have to. So it's easy for me to say that to step over it. It's Megan has to deal with it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things. It's like okay, we're usually going to hide the negative comments just because the world is full of nasty conversations and negativity and division. We don't want our channel to be full of that. So we'll hide you. If we feel like it's just downright nasty and there's nothing constructive or helpful at all, you're gone and you'll never be able to comment again. But yes, it still hurts my feelings. And it's been required a lot of personal growth and recognizing like that healthy boundary of like, hey, that's more about you. But
right.
that goes back to that Teddy Roosevelt quote. And Brene Brown talked about it in her new Netflix special, which is incredible. But she's like, I don't take any criticism from the people in the cheap seats. If you're not in here getting your butt kicked, you don't have any input on my life.
Yeah, because people like to throw insults or stones at you from the cheap seats, but those people who are actually doing things that are in the ring, so to speak, are more gracious.
Absolutely, it hurts my feelings.
Here's one. Do we have an extended family that have similar lifestyles to us?
No.
We do not have any extended family that lives like us. We are definitely anomalies in both of our families, and we did not grow up RVing, either one of us. My
Never
family
had
would
an
go
RV.
camping, which was great, but we never did what we did at all. So we're the black sheep, which is why we're in this.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Do you want to go to the hour?
Sure.
Okay.
We have 7 minutes left.
We got 7 more minutes.
And just tell people that I maybe we'll figure out a mic situation next. We've had a few people ask if we could put me on mic because they can't hear me.
Oh, okay.
But just
Mike,
tell them that-
next time we do a live stream, Elijah said he will mic himself.
But yeah, that's not an option.
None of our Chinese children have experienced racism. Mm-mm.
No, I'm not growing my beard as long as it used to be. I'm going to keep it shorter. I did the whole long beard thing a couple times, and I think I'm done with that.
Yes, Peter and Asher can read. When you
Did
were an
someone ask that?
unschooler, yes, and a homeschooler, some of your kids will take longer than others. Jude is like already reading.
Yeah.
And it's just the way that their brains work and their strengths and their talents. Both Peter and Asher took a long time, and that was stressful for me. I know it shouldn't be, but it was. But yes, they can read. Peter is definitely further along. He's a year older, but they can both read now. Peter's reading his first novels, chapter books. It makes me so happy. These are from Target. Thank you.
Oh, question about the earrings.
Yes.
A few people have asked Mom if you have a film degree.
People want to ask.
Oh, okay, so
does Megan have a film degree? Is the
I
question.
went to BYU and I studied film, or it's the degree is called Media Arts, and I never finished. I don't really care, but yeah, I studied that. It was really fun. I had a good time.
And it has been helpful for what we do.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, looking back, it was like, wow, that actually really worked out. I'm glad that I got to spend those years learning editing and filming and all of those things.
right.
Who edits the videos?
Both of us.
We both do. We've worked out a good little system. I typically start, I go through and do like the rough cut at the beginning, and then Megan goes through and hones it in, adds some music, usually does the thumbnail. That's how we do it. So it's a tag team.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Do we ever get negative comments from friends and family about how we homeschool? Yes.
We do.
It is a constant conversation.
We'll keep it. We'll leave it at that.
But we feel ya.
I think it happens to most homeschooling
Yeah, I think
families.
somebody said theirs didn't read till they discovered Goosebumps in grade 4. I think all kids kind of find a book eventually that just like, they get it. Like something clicks and they get it. Asher has not yet found that. He's reading, but he's not reading well enough to have found that. Peter just dove in to the Jedi Academy books. I don't know why those are it, but with Elijah with Elijah, it was the Percy Jackson series. And with Andrew, it was the Roald Dahl books. He had like a Roald Dahl collection, and that's really... Pearl's...
I don't know it.
No, I know what... Well, Esther's was Nancy Drew. Pearl... I don't know if she had one book, like our one series, but she is definitely reading all the time now. Daniel has not found that book yet. He reads in Chinese all the time. He's not found books in English that do that for him. So hopefully his Chinese books are really uplifting and really good.
Let's hope.
Someone asked what editing software you guys use.
Final Cut Pro, just because that's what I used in school, so I already knew it.
And yes, Megan is a super mom.
I am not a super mom, but I try to use my superpowers. Everybody has their own superpowers, right? And bring that to motherhood, and I try not to worry about the things that I'm not good at all, which would be chores, which would be appointments, which would be anything that requires like consistent, like diligent, scheduled, which is a lot in like typical motherhood. But I have a great husband and I have great kids who let me be good at what I'm good at and love me for that.
Well, and this goes, I'm just going to jump in here with what kind of the bedrock of our relationship and why it works is that we both understand each other's strengths and we both understand each other's weaknesses, and we're okay with both. And we recognize where one is going to be able to take care of something and the other one hangs back. And so we're a team. We're totally a team, and we're, I don't know, we recognize and respect each other's strengths and weaknesses.
And yeah, if I were to give any marriage advice, marry someone who loves you for your strengths and doesn't so much care about your weaknesses. Don't ever marry someone who wants you to be weak so that they feel strong, who feels like they're saving you in your weakness, or who feels like you're cute in your weakness, or who feels like, I really like you, but I sure hope you get over those weaknesses. I mean, we all, have to learn some patience, but I think of all the people in the world, you notice my weaknesses the least because you love my strengths.
Right, yeah, the strengths overcome those. So,
and vice versa.
Right.
Like, I don't even really ever think about what you're not good at necessarily. I just love you in your superpowers. And I think find someone who loves you in your strengths, and the rest will kind of work itself out. And then love them the same way.
and if you're currently with someone, start doing that more. So
We will be married. We just got our 19th wedding anniversary.
Yep.
Mike went on a mission. I did not.
Okay, you got about a minute left. You want to just like wrap things up?
All right.
we're running out of time. We weren't going to make this an hour, so.
So
There was a question, how's Pearl's back? Do you want to address that real quick? or
yeah,
no?
Pearl's back is a set, done deal. I know a lot of you think that are excited to share a doctor or a therapy. Pearl's back is one of a kind. You literally do not know anyone like her because she is the only one in the world. Is so much so that there are like articles in medical journals about Pearl and her spine. So it is what it is.
It's not treatable.
It's not treatable. We're just making sure that she exercises and keeps her core strong, but that's, pretty much what it is for the rest of her life. And we're happy that it really doesn't slow her down. We love you guys though.
Yeah.
We love sharing our life with you. We love interacting with you. It was really fun to sit here. I love these, and we hope to do more meetups in the future. And because I just love sitting down and talking.
But if you want to keep getting more inside information, go subscribe to the newsletter that we're going to be having monthly. It'll go out like the 1st or 2nd of each month in your email. So go to northandsouth.com to do that.
All right, guys.
I think that's it.
We love you, and we will talk to you later. And if you really like listening to talking, come and subscribe to our podcast.
Oh, the podcast magazine.
coming
And this
up.
was recorded, so you'll be able to come back and watch the first if you missed it.